Do you consider patient reviews when choosing a doctor or dentist? Why, one investigator says you need to watch out after hundreds of reviews had to be removed for a local dental practice. Before you hit the stores for back to school shopping, we're going to give you a free lesson in cutting your school supply costs. Think you can't afford to buy a house? Think again. HAR shows us the neighborhoods where people are snapping up the most homes for lower than the average price. And could you survive a no-buy year? Actually, you can. How easily people are doing it and using the savings to pay off thousands in debt. Thanks so much for joining us on Dollars and Cents. I'm your host, Heather Sullivan. So do you consider online patient reviews when you're choosing a healthcare provider? 75% of people do, according to Becker's Hospital Review. But a consumer watchdog says consumers can be misled because it's not always the patients that are posting them. When Fake Review Watch flagged a Houston dental practice for receiving suspicious reviews for years, we began investigating. When you're choosing a doctor or a dentist, would their online reviews pass a checkup? An analysis by the Transparency Company, which probes online reviews, found up to 20% of physician reviews are suspicious, meaning they may not be from real patients. It caught our attention when former federal investigator Kay Dean with Fake Review Watch posted a video about Glow Dental Group, which has received hundreds of glowing reviews on Google and Facebook. Dean says they're not all what they seem.
When you see reviewers who have reviewed Glow Dental locations reviewing far-flung businesses in common, that's always a red flag and indicative of a fake review ring.
Dean charted the activity of 49 of the reviewers. A sampling of a larger set, she says, were posting fake reviews.
20 recent reviewers of Glow Dental locations in Houston area reviewed the same restaurant in Halifax, Nova Scotia. 12 recent reviewers of Glow Dental locations reviewed the same moving company in Florida.
She says multiple reviews were the same, word for word.
Carrie Gunnels posted the above Facebook review about her sensitive sister's experience at Spring Branch Dental Group. But I guess Roland Munoz has a sensitive sister as well, because he posted the same review on Google.
Dean says one review includes directions on how to post reviews.
Use any one of the following keywords: Dr. Pham, implants, cosmetic.
And she noted some reviewers posted on Facebook that they sell reviews. So we wrote to one asking, hey, how much do you charge for fake reviews? We never heard back. Our next call was to Glow Dental Group.
So the first question is, have you guys been paying for positive reviews?
No, we have not. We actually have not been aware of that. As soon as we got made aware of that, we immediately reported it, and we have no control over who decides to post reviews, whether it's positive or negative.
Glow Dental marketing manager Maria Arena says they do invite patients to review their business, including taping video testimonials for their social media pages.
We've been encouraging our patients to give reviews based on their experience with us, and they have been pretty positive.
Google just removed 525 of nearly 1,000 Glow Dental reviews, telling us they are removing policy-violating content. After Dean posted her video, Glow Dental says they reported them to Google. But Dean says Google usually removes reviews after she posts her videos on the Fake Review Watch YouTube channel. But both Arenas and Dean say Google should do more to stop fake reviews. So we asked Google, what is it doing to stop them? A spokesperson writes that Google has removed 170 million policy-violating reviews using automated systems, trained operators, and reports from the community, and have taken malicious actors to court. But I also asked Google about the allegedly questionable Glow Dental reviews that stayed online for more than a year. Google didn't answer that question. Then we asked Facebook about Dean's report on the Glow Dental reviews and about the Facebook accounts selling fake reviews. We asked them twice. We never heard back. The Federal Trade Commission has proposed a rule that it could fine businesses up to $50,000 for buying or selling fake reviews. But the rule would not apply to platforms like Google or Facebook due to a federal law protecting them from content that people post. We asked the Texas State Board of Dental Examiners how it would respond if a dental practice used fake reviews. It writes that purchasing fake reviews may be a violation of its rules, but that no complaints have been filed about Glow Dental Group's reviews. Since Glow Dental says they didn't generate the suspicious reviews, we're left wondering how they got there.
Any idea why that might have happened?
I can't say for certain. Yeah, again, I'm sure, I'm very confident in our service and our patients' results and happiness. So that's all I can say on that.
So how can you spot fake reviews? You want to look for a cluster of reviews posted the same day, identical wording, and then click the reviewer's history. If it's hidden or locked, or they've reviewed businesses in multiple cities, those are your red flags. And it is back to school time, and this weekend is the Texas tax-free weekend where you can buy school supplies, backpacks, clothes, and shoes under $100, and you don't have to pay the sales tax. That's a savings of about $8 per 100. And Don Hasbrook with Fox 32 in Chicago has more ways to help you save in this Money Saver report.
Retailers may have a hard time getting parents to spend more money on school supplies this year. A recent survey by Deloitte finds back-to-school spending is expected to flatten, with some parents spending a little less than last year. The average cost for K-12 students is expected to be $586. That's down about $11 compared to the last few years, but still up $57 more than in 2020.
Consumers are looking to save. They're not going to spend as much on back to school as they have in years past. And as a result, stores are going to be rolling out bigger sales. Stores need to roll out bigger deals this year to get people into their stores and spend.
Consumer savings expert Andrea Warrock says that means consumers should be on the lookout for so-called loss leaders. That's items with a deep discounted price to draw shoppers into the store. But there's a catch.
As long as you only buy those items, though, that can really help stretch your budget. However, their intention is once they get you into the store, they hope that you'll buy some more items that maybe aren't that deeply discounted.
That's why it's important to give yourself some time to find out what's on sale and where.
The earlier you start, the more you have the ability to comparison shop and try and get the best price.
Sarah Rathner is a personal finance expert with NerdWallet. She says spreading out your shopping list can also help spread out the expenses.
Back to school time is expensive and you have a long list of supplies you need to get. So if you can save a few dollars here, a few dollars there, that is going to add up really fast. And it's really stressful to have to buy 20 items in one day. Why not spread that out and buy 4 items a week over the next 5 weeks?
Another tip, start your back to school shopping at home.
Instead of having to buy everything, use stuff that you already have from last year.
Maybe it's a hand-me-down from their older sibling, or it's just something we have left over. We have an unopened package of pencils from last year. They're still good.
It all adds up. And the best one, backpacks. If you got a good quality backpack last year, throw it in the washing machine if you want to clean it up.
That can also apply to clothes for the school year.
If you've got friends in your life who have older kids, they probably are sitting on just closets full of clothes, some of which have never been worn because kids outgrow clothing so quickly.
You can also ask your child's school if there are some items on the list that are not needed at the very beginning of the year, and buy those later during other sales.
The winter holidays like Black Friday will offer an additional time to get big discounts, especially on maybe gadgets or electronics.
Some good tips there. All right, have you seen this? There's a TikTok trend that's encouraging people to save more money. It's called a no-buy year. The rules are simple. You make a list of the non-essential items that you will not spend money on for a set length of time and stick to it. And as Fox Business's Kaylee Schuyler reports, it's helping some folks pay off tens of thousands in debt.
Many people start at the beginning of the year, but some people are trying it out just for a month since it could be hard to kick bad habits for a whole entire year. One woman I spoke with who's sticking to the plan says she's saving tens of thousands of dollars.
If you aren't posting on TikTok about a no-buy year, are you really even doing it?
Hi, my name's Angela, and I've been on a debt-free no-buy year journey since January 1st, 2023. On May 3rd, 2024, 488 days later, I paid off all of my survival debt, which was $30,895.05.
Angela Zott was fed up living paycheck to paycheck and putting her monthly bills on credit cards. So she tackled the trend, taking over TikTok. Zott stopped spending money on new beauty products and services, home goods, and crafts.
But I could have small wins. You have to treat yourself. My cash tips from my job are free game. I only get like $10 to $20 every 2 weeks, but like that can buy me 2 or 3 coffees.
Zott has paid off nearly $35,000 over the last year and a half. Some post on social media to hold themselves accountable during the challenge, but social media got a lot of others into money trouble to begin with. According to Credit Karma, nearly 2 in 5 Americans have purchased products on social media in the past year, and nearly a quarter of them have charged $1,000 or more to credit cards.
Hard to build new habits. It's hard to really adjust your relationship with money. But by taking this focused effort, whether it's a week, a month, or a year, to really examine where every dollar you have is going, it's just going to naturally make you way more aware of where your money is going.
And all that awareness and focus is helping Zott buy a home.
You can change your life. I did. I'm a 32-year-old baker from Atlanta, Georgia, who makes $45K a year. I don't have family. I did this by myself.
Zott suggests anyone who wants to try the challenge to buy a notebook to track your progress so you can see all that you're saving right in front of you. In Boston, Kaylee Schuyler, Fox News.
If you do it, let me know how it goes. I want to hear. All right, the Biden administration is working to stop medical bills from appearing on your credit report, saying this kind of debt doesn't really reflect your credit worthiness. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is proposing ending the practice of allowing unpaid medical bills from appearing on those reports. The goal is to help millions of Americans apply for credit cards, mortgages, and different types of loans. And it's estimated the changes could allow 22,000 more people to get approved for a mortgage. The CFPB has already removed paid medical debts and medical bills under $500 from credit reports. JP Morgan Chase is considering suing the CFPB for trying to force settlements in Zelle fraud cases. Zelle is owned by 7 banks, including JP Morgan Chase. Well, federal rules require banks to reimburse you for false transactions, like if your account is hacked. But Chase says they don't reimburse people who were tricked into giving up their own money. The CFPB is trying to force Chase to change its policy, and Chase is now threatening to sue to stop it. StubHub is facing a lawsuit over accusations that it uses deceptive advertising. The suit, filed by Washington, D.C.'s Attorney General, alleges the company would promote low prices to bring in customers, but then add extra fees right before you check out. The AG says that the practice is known as drip pricing, and it violates consumer protection laws. Well, StubHub released a statement maintaining its practices are consistent with the law and competing companies. Now, here's some good news for home buyers. Mortgage rates have fallen to their lowest level in more than a year after Friday's weaker than expected jobs report. The average rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage dropped 22 basis points to 6.4%. That's according to Mortgage News Daily. The 15-year fixed rate fell to 5.89%, the lowest level since early May of 2023. So if high mortgage rates have you sitting on the sidelines and you just think you can't afford a home, the Houston Association of Realtors just put out the hottest communities where the most homes are being sold, often for less than the average price. I really wanted to share with you the findings from the Houston Association of Realtors. This is Bill Baldwin. He's on the board of directors. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
This was really interesting. We knew during the pandemic people started going to the suburbs,
right?
But now we're really seeing that trend continue. What are you seeing?
It's I call it suburban plus. It's areas beyond suburbia that we were typically used to. It's not just the Woodlands or Sugarland or Pearland. It's 10 and 15 and 20 miles beyond that. And it's just the housing stock is more affordable. affordable. There were more incentives from the builders, and the quality of life has just improved in many of those areas.
Yeah, so let's take a look at our #1 right now. It's actually Porter, New Caney West, where they've seen a 140% increase in sales.
I think that's an anomaly because I didn't think they had that many the year before, but definitely we're seeing the increase in those areas. North of the Kingwood area, close to the airport, people that commute to Houston, they're just not commuting like they used to. Maybe they come in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, but they're finding living in the trees, living in the country, closer access to other things that they want, Lake Conroe, Lake Houston, Lake Livingston. I think those areas are very attractive to people.
Yeah, an average price there, $290,000. Let's talk about Brookshire because this place is booming.
The west area, and there again, I think it's just this proximity to where you can get to the hill country quicker for the weekend or whatever. To think the Buc-ee's of the world have made those areas very attractive. and I think the developers are making it hike and bike trails in those areas, enjoying nature, embracing what they have in their surroundings.
Okay, this one is closer inland. Let's look at Medical Center South. Average price there, $234,000. It's up 77%.
Yeah, and remember the Houston average price is $432,000. So we're talking about $200,000 cheaper, but it's the growth of the medical center, TMC3, the potential for people being priced out of area like the Heights. I tell them, go to the next area. It's those areas adjacent to 288 over there, close to where there's great jobs and great access to other things like the museums.
Okay, and really quickly, let's go through. Lake Jackson is up 41%. Average price there is $301,000.
There again, proximity to the coast, but not being on the coast, not being quite so sensitive to hurricanes, but access to water and great medical facilities in Lake Jackson.
Okay, and the #5 on your list is Chambers County East. It's up 40%. Average price there, $300,000.
I think it's, again, jobs from the Port of Houston, good quality of living, access to the coast that not as many people go to. It's a tremendous growth opportunity to the east of Houston, and people haven't thought that way for a long period of time.
And your advice to anybody who's trying to buy into the market right now?
Get a professional real estate individual to help you to navigate these things. There are incentives, these buy downs for your interest rates. A lot of these homes that were purchased were new construction that offered a tremendous number of incentives. You have to be able to navigate those things.
Okay, Bill Baldwin with HAR. Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it. Struggling to find affordable housing are now turning to a new model of co-living, and they're saving hundreds of dollars a month. For every 100 extremely low-income households in Houston, there are just 25 affordable homes to rent, according to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition. A leasing platform called PadSplit is now in more than a dozen states with a goal of creating more affordable housing. Take a look. Greg Lynch rents a room in this house through PadSplit to cut his commute time to work and cut his costs.
You can't find a one-bedroom in Houston to save your life. And if you do, it'll be over $1,000, you know what I mean? So compare that to what I'm paying. I pay less than $700 a month.
And that includes the water, electric, and internet bills. He shares the kitchen, bathroom, and laundry room with 7 other renters.
It's much more of like a home vibe. And because my neighbors are my roommates, we've all kind of become friends.
Renters must stay at least 31 days, then it's weekly, though most have been here several months.
I didn't want to just jump into a commitment with another apartment community or sign a lease.
Atticus LeBlanc says he founded PadSplit to connect property owners and renters to create affordable housing where it's often lacking.
You can have someone who's working and earning less than $40,000 a year, but that has full-time employment, that still can't afford anything in the market.
PadSplit helps property owners convert spaces like living rooms into extra bedrooms that are rented out furnished with lockable doors.
There's a background check. There's identity verification where you have to take a picture of yourself holding your ID.
In Houston, LeBlanc says the average PadSplit rent is about $667 a month, compared to a studio apartment averaging over $1,000, according to CoStar.
When we survey residents, they report an average savings of $332 a month.
If you're single, you're looking for a one-bedroom, you don't have a lot of furniture maybe, this is ideal.
So the rental properties must meet pad split safety requirements. The Better Business Bureau reports that some renters have complained of cleanliness or security issues for some of these homes around the country, but Pad Split says it offers a 24/7 support team that renters can reach out to. And since starting 6 years ago, the company says it's created more than 10,000 rooms in 18 cities across the U.S., providing affordable housing to 23,000 people. Okay, have you reached your tipping point with all the requests for tips everywhere you go? Suggesting high tips or even asking for tips before a service has been provided? Well, Matt on the Money with our Fox station in Tampa gets some advice on tipping without tipping out.
Hi, which floor?
3, please.
Okay. Excuse me?
TikTok has jokes. You forgot to tip. And millions of consumers agree.
This is getting absolutely outrageous.
70% of Americans say they're seeing tipping requests in more places than they used to, even at fast food chains.
I was at Bojangles the other day and they asked me for a tip. We're not doing that, right?
Some of that is driven by the employers, maybe not necessarily doing a great job showing that value to their own staff members and putting it on the consumer.
About 2/3 of adults say they feel pressured to tip more.
Technology is creating an environment where we feel like we are guilted.
So how do we avoid this guilt? Financial advisor Celine Pastor says the easiest way is to calculate the tip yourself.
And never feel like you need to be bullied.
And with budgets still tight under inflation, keep gratuity in mind before you head out.
So if you're going into a restaurant, for example, you can't just look at, is this a $15 chicken meal that I'm having, but I have to make sure that I have in my budget to add another 20% on top of that.
To become a more confident tipper, know the expectations before you pay. For restaurant servers at a sit-down restaurant, plan to tip 15 to 20%, with more if the service is exceptional. If you're going fast casual with counter service, $2 to $3 is acceptable. For rideshare drivers, it's always 15 to 20%. For house calls like housekeeping, appliance delivery, and the exterminator, find out when you order the service if tipping is allowed. You don't have to tip, but if allowed, $10 to $20 per worker is fine.
I always want to make sure that I'm showing that appreciation, but I don't want to feel like I'm having to pay part of your wages either.
Okay, now let's have some fun, because even though we're in the middle of summer, have you noticed that some stores have already rolled out the Halloween decor? Yeah, it's actually a new trend called Summerween. Is it timely or too early? Fox 5 New York's Kendall Green takes a look.
Like weaning off the summer into the fall. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I would think.
New Yorkers taking their best guess at a new retail term coined Summerween.
Never heard of it. Not in the faintest idea.
Understandably, no luck so far, probably because it's so far out of mind since we're still feeling that summer simmer. The term Summerween, what comes to mind?
I don't understand the word, I'm sorry. Summerween?
Summerween.
Like Halloween.
Getting warmer, but the term is related to a retail rollout of Halloween products, already hitting shelves, marking an extra early arrival of Halloween inventory months ahead of the holiday.
We're not ready to talk about fall yet. It's too hot for that.
Oh, no, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't sell out that fast either.
The preseason trend includes Halloween decorations and candy in stores, since the holiday raked in $6.4 billion in candy alone last year. So you think August is okay?
No, but the kids' costumes and everything sell out.
But so far, there's no mention of costume sales, which may be for the best.
It's a little early for me. I'm not a huge Halloween person, but I do get it.
Again, though, it's July. Retail expert Trey Bodge.
It's funny to see retailers kind of beat each other to the punch to put things out there and get consumer shopping. The thing about Halloween is that people who participate in Halloween decorating their lawns and homes, they are very serious about it.
And stores getting serious about the trend include Marshall's, Michael's, Five Below, Costco, and Target. Perhaps the retail giant standing taller in the trend than others, Home Depot, marketing 12-foot skeletons back in April. To sum it all up,
capitalism is great.
Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
All right, and finally, what do you think of this debate? This is that free dollop of whipped cream served in a Starbucks pup cup, typically given to dogs. But a mom on TikTok says it makes her 2-year-old just as happy as getting a $5 cake pop. And some social media users accuse the mom of taking advantage of the system. But she fired back saying, what's the difference between me buying a drink and getting a pup cup for my kid and you buying a drink and getting one for your dog?
Turns out this is allowed. Starbucks confirmed you can do this as long as you buy a real drink for yourself. All right, that's our show. Thanks so much for joining us. Drop me a line on Instagram, Facebook, or X. It's all Heather Sullivan, Fox 26. I love getting your notes. Keep them coming. And you'll find more ways to save every day on Sullivan Smart Cents on fox26houston.com. And we'll see you next time right here on Dollars and Cents.